Here at Lake Ray Roberts on the south end, they cleared all the timber off the lake, made big brush piles. But on the north end of the lake, they left all the timber in there, and just as far as you can see, matter of fact, you could actually get lost on this lake from there's so much timber, so you got to be careful where you're going. But these crappie love vertical structure, and also if you find you a big tree that's kind of leaning over like this, it'll be full of big crappie suspended about 6 foot deep in about 15 foot of water. What we're going to be using today on this standing timber is a lure that I designed a couple of years ago called Crappie Thunder. Matter of fact, this is a new color I'm experimenting with. It kind of looks like refrigerator white with a chartreuse tail. This is an 1/8 ounce Roadrunner with a willow leaf blade. And that willow leaf, that gold blade, gives a lot of flash in the water. And the water's a little bit stained or a little bit murky. And we're going to be using also Mr. Crappie High Vis line. A lot of people ask me a lot of times, Wally, does that line scare the fish? Well, it scared 50 of them yesterday right here in my boat. But no, I'm just kidding you. But that high vis lines helps you stay in contact with your bait at all time, and you know where your line is. So if that crappie comes up with it, your line will go slack, and you'll be able to detect all the strikes from all the crappies. The trees that I like to look for is these trees that are kind of leaning at an angle. You can see this big old top. It looks knotty, roddy. It's got a lot of tops in it sticking up. There ought to be a bunch of crappie around this little stick up. What I'm actually doing is actually just pitching it in there and letting it fall. Those crappie love to hit it on the fall, man. Like that right there. Oh, what a fish. What a fish. Come in here, baby. Man, first pitch. Big old slab. Look how far he sucked that Roadrunner down in there. Woo. Today, folks, we're using a Wally Marshall 10-year anniversary rod. Check out all the colors in this blank, man. When the sun hits it from different angles, it's awesome. It's got great backbone, and using a 10-foot rod today that allows you to fish 10 foot deep, and these crappie are suspended 6 or 7 foot deep in about 15 foot of water on the standing timber. And this long crappie rod helps you to reach out over that timber and drop that lure right down in the water. There he is. Come out of there. Oh yeah, got him on that old leaning log. On today's show, I'm kind of going to be a conservationist. I know on a lot of my crappie shows that I like to keep a few for the skillet, but today we're going to release all the crappie caught here at Ray Roberts. So fans and folks out there, there's you somebody to catch. All right, get back in there and get another one. Actually, I caught that fish. I'm fishing with a 10-foot rod, and that looks like about 9.5 feet right there. Because, see, using these longer rods, you can judge the depth that you're going to fish by the length of your rod. Just set your lure, and you can look at your rod where your lure hits on the rod. You know that depth, and all you got to do is just lift up on the rod. You don't even have to reel. We're going to get right back in there and get us another healthy right there. 11-inch, 12-inch crappie. Pretty little thing. Today we're catching white crappie. Ray Roberts has a few black crappie species in the lake. We may catch some of those today, but right now we're catching these little old crappie. And the reason these crappie are out here in this standing timber, the water temperature is about 74, 75 degrees. The crappies already went on the spawn. It's right now right at the end of spawn. Crappies are moving off the bank, get out on these secondary points, drop-off ledges, creek channels, on this vertical structure. That's the reason they also like to get around a lot of boat docks this time of year, and also bridge columns. But today it's standing timber and stumps. Little buddy, we're going to turn you back, baby. These trees right here, I call them ironwoods. They're hard as a brick. They last for many, many years. And when they break off right at the surface, then you still got some structure coming up above. And there's a bunch of like 20 to 15 limbs coming up off the tree, and those crappie will get all in around that on a post-spawn pattern. See that little stump right there, that little twig on it? That's where I just caught that fish, maybe 9 or 10 foot deep. We're sitting in 13 foot of water right now. Get back, right back in there on it. There we go. Let me get around here. Where you at, big boy? Sure you wasn't the only one home. Oh, there's a hog. Woo! Man, that's a 2-pounder. Right in the top of that. I'm gonna have to bend over to get this big boy. Look at that fish. Here it is, May, and this fish still hadn't even spawned out, still full of eggs. Baby, I'm gonna let you go back. You make for more good TV tomorrow. Oh, wasn't that pretty? That was off that same stump right there, what I was telling you about, right underneath the surface. You know, a lot of people just pass that stuff up. And especially a lot of these trees that have a lot of limbs on them, people don't like to fish around them because they're always getting hung up. If you're getting hung up, you're crappie fishing. I'm going to go back in there after Grandma. There he is. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I hope that's a crappie. Oh, oh, man. Look at this fish. Wow. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Be careful, be careful. Hold on there, baby. Hold on. Hold on, Daddy's coming. I can't even get her up here. Look at that monster. Be still. Here I come. Here I come. Oh, man. Wow, I got her in the boat. I can't believe it. Usually I use a dip net. That is one monstrous white crappie here at Ray Roberts in North Texas. Man, folks, don't forget, refrigerator white. Oh, I dropped it in there, and that was another stump that was right underneath the surface. Everybody else is passing them up, but look what those big stumps can produce. I bet that fish is close to 16 inches in length. Wow. Woo! That was a lot of fun. That jig was falling, and all of a sudden just thump, and that was that big old female. Man, on these 10-foot rods, that's a lot of fun. Oh, I'm out of breath. Let's get back up here on the stump and catch us another. See what I'm fishing? Like I was telling you, those stumps are underneath that water. Look down at this one right here, folks. Look down there. See all them limbs just all together and how much shade and cover that produces? You can drop it right down in the center. That's where them crappie love to hang out. Right down in there. Just get in there amongst them. Boy, I'm liking that new bait. There he is. Oh, another big one. Oh, come out of there. Oh, what a crappie. What a slab. Come here, baby. Come here. Come here. Man, I'm telling you, folks, this can't get no funner than this right here. Look how big that fish is. Look where her tail is just eat plumb off. These fish are actually spawning out here in this deep water. Let me get back on my trolling motor before I rip that big mercury off on that limb. But just look right there where that tail is just eat plumb off. What I think these crappie are doing is actually spawning out here in this deeper water. That was down about 10, 11 foot and 14 foot of water. That big old fish right there. Man, unbelievable. Let you go back. See, that's the advantage of that 10-foot rod, is you can just set the depth and just drop it down the depth you want to fish. There he is. Oh, hog. Oh yeah, pulled in on that old big tree right there. Catch that little female, she's already laid her eggs. Remember, folks, trees, stumps under the water, 10-foot Wally Marshall crappie rods, and Bass Pro Shops Outdoor World. We want to thank you for coming out today and catching all these big crappie with me. Thanks again.